Hello, and welcome back to my studio. I have another hot take for you. I grew up vacationing in Florida with my family and enjoying the beautiful beaches, but now that I live in Florida full time, I am not really a beach person. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the beach, but I grew up in Maryland, and honestly, I miss the mountains and the changing of the weather a lot. And I have been kind of struggling living here for a number of reasons, but particularly because I hate being hot and summers here are so brutal. And all I have to say is thank goodness for my bestie who has lived here forever and introduced me to the Florida Springs a few years ago. And I grew up drinking spring-fed water, but the springs that I would drink from are very different than the Florida Springs. The Florida Springs are crystal clear bodies of water that you can snorkel, swim, and scuba dive in. And honestly, they are so gorgeous. They're also not something most people come to see when they come to Florida. And I had been hearing a lot about the Ichetucknee River, how fun it is to float down. So one day, a friend and I rented tubes and took the 2.5-hour float down the river. It did not disappoint. It was like one of the most beautiful experiences, and I would do it again and again. In fact, I have another trip planned with my spouse to kayak from the source because you can't tube from it to protect the seagrasses, but you can kayak from it. And the reason they do this is mostly to protect the manatees. And who doesn't love the cute little sea potatoes and want to protect them? They're the sweetest animals, and they are, in fact, federally protected here in Florida. They need warm water to swim in during the winter, and the springs are a constant 72 degrees Fahrenheit all year round. So when the Gulf is a chilly 50, the spring-fed rivers are like a balmy 72. In November, I'm hoping it'll have cooled off for our trip, so that we might be able to swim with them when we kayak. But the float that I did take down the river felt so magical and surreal. You ride this tram further upstream and launch off of this platform. And this painting is the view from that platform before we got in. Honestly, most of the river looked just like this. I could paint an entire series of paintings of just this trip because it was so gorgeous. We saw turtles and river otters and fish because the water is completely clear. And at this point, I know someone is thinking, but aren't there alligators? The answer to that is yes, but having lived here for long enough, it's a concern, but not a huge one. The danger is present and you should be aware at all times, but they mostly leave you alone in my experience. Plus, who doesn't love a little danger and adventure? Don't worry, I was on the lookout the entire trip, but I didn't see a single alligator. And I came back from the trip feeling compelled to capture this moment on canvas. Basically, how I started this painting was blocking the shadows, and now I'm adding in larger blocks of color. I personally love the Cobalt Teal that I mixed with Pthalo Green for the water and then added some titanium white for the sky. I am working in oil paint for this. I personally love Gamblin and Williamsburg brands because they're so silky smooth and the color is so vibrant. I'll list all of my supplies below, but I'm a shop local girly, so most of my paints and brushes come from my favorite local art store. And I didn't finish this on camera because I forgot to when I came back from travel. I started this a while ago in July, and I did a bunch of traveling because it's summer and that's what we do. And when I came back from travel, I just completely forgot and got into the zone and didn't film it. So sorry about that, but this painting will be available for purchase on September 7th when I do my regular monthly launch. At this point, you know the drill. I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel to help support a small business and to help me monetize my content so I can continue to do the things I love, like paint. If you're not into following along, I'd love for you to comment to help boost my video. And if you're not into that, a simple like would be great because you get to see more artists on your page, and art is amazing. So Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time, hopefully.